exceptional, beautiful place with this project that Natalie has. Beautiful project that the town were needing for a long time. A space where to collect the treasures of this town, the cultural treasures of this town. And finally, we have something like this. Thank you very much for being here. This is an informal conversation, it's a talk. I hope you can also interact with us or ask any questions that any questions that you feel. And I want to thank Javier Nino that is here today with us. No one knows more or better Manuel Lepe than Javier on the artistic aspect of his career. Javier Nino, puedes decir, you want to say something?
I'm sorry, my English is
I can help you.
It's very bad.
Muchísimas gracias. ¿Es regular?
Ruben Cham Javier Nino
No, es like.
Okay.
to translation. Yo nací en Puerto Vallarta en 1950.
He's born in Puerto Vallarta in 1950.
And I know Manuel cuando yo era un pequeño.
He met Manuel when he was a child, probably 10 years old or something.
Yo tendría unos 8 años.
8 años, 8 years.
Sí. Y en una ocasión que salí de la escuela, pasé por la calle, ¿cómo se llama? Ignacio de Vallarta.
When he was coming out from school every morning, Javier, then he used to pass for this street, Ignacio de Vallarta.
Y el papá de Manuel tenía una pequeña tienda de abarrotes.
Where Manuel's Lepe father used to have a grocery shop.
Y encontré a Manuel pintando un cuadro de Vallarta en la esquina. Pues él estaba fuera de la tienda de abarrotes.
And then he used to see Manuel working inside of the grocery shop, just experimenting with some papers. The same papers that they used to wrap the merchandise that you could. Exactly the same paper.
Y pues me llamó mucho la atención porque a mí me gustaba mucho dibujar. Y comenzamos a platicar. Manuel tendría unos 24 años aproximadamente.
So Manuel was like 24 years old by the time, and he noticed that Javier was passing by and taking a look on his works. So they started to have some kind of relation. I mean, the Manuel Lepe, on his 24, he was more or less 24 years old, used to give attention to Javier, that it was just a child passing by to see his works.
Cada vez que yo salía, que pasaba por ahí, salía de la escuela, venía de la escuela primaria rumbo a mi casa, veía a Manuel en el transcurso de un día pintando en la esquina. Y luego me dijo que si me gustaba la pintura, le dije que sí, me encantaba, ¿no? Platicamos y hicimos una amistad, ¿no? O sea, de un niño a un adulto.
So this was day after day, you know, he was passing by and stopping to check what Manuel were doing, and Manuel giving him the attention. In one occasion, Manuel Lepe, this is where he's coming now, gave him as a gift some set of inks for drawing.
Y entonces en el transcurso de los días ya no lo volví a ver nomás, pero Manuel era el que tendía la tienda de su papá. Y duró como unos 2, 3 años que ya no lo volví a ver a Manuel.
There was some period of time, maybe 2 or 3 years, when Manuel Lepe was not anymore working at the grocery shop. I don't know why, he will let us know.
Entonces, ya después de ese tiempo, lo vi en un pequeño taller a la vuelta de esa misma manzana donde estaba.
Oh, okay. Because then Manuel Lepe moved he created some kind of personal space, like a workshop, where he was now working on his art, instead of working in the grocery shop owned by his dad.
Cuando lo volví a ver de nuevo era un taller, donde ya el taller es por la calle Lázaro Cárdenas, ya tenía muchas pinturas.
So then in this workshop located in Lázaro Cárdenas, Manuel Lepe was already hanging on the walls his works, like in some formal way to show his works.
Y pues yo estaba admirado, ¿no? Porque me gustaba mucho dibujar y estaba admirado de las pinturas de Manuel. Son otro tipo de pinturas. Estaba un pequeño taller lleno. Entonces él, cuando vio mi entusiasmo, cuando vio que yo estaba sorprendido de todo eso, me regaló 3 tintas. Una tinta amarilla, una azul y una roja.
The basics, los básicos.
Sí, unas tintas muy bonitas, por este tamaño, e inglesas, muy bonitas.
So then it was when Manuel, because Javier was visiting also the workshop, the new workshop, and then Manuel felt kind of touchy. He was a generous guy, and then he gave him 3 inks, the basic colors: yellow, blue, and red. So Javier could start to also some works.
Inmediatamente yo tomé las pinturas y me fui a mi casa porque yo nunca había usado colores, solamente dibujaba con tinta china y lápiz. E hice unos cuadritos pequeños. Recuerdo muy bien que mi primer pintura que hice fue un charrito mexicano, un mariachi. Y fui y se lo llevé a Manuel a enseñar.
So then Javier, of course, right away went to his home and then he started to work. He never used colors before. He was just using pencil and black, what we say Chinese ink, but it's black ink. And then he created some little pieces. Javier, he remembers one that it was like a charro, and then he ran over there to show his work to Manuel Lepe, the result of his work.
Fueron varias pinturas que hice pequeñas en cartón, cartón duro, y le gustó mucho, se rió, muy bonitas. Era alusivo al trabajo de él. Entonces me agradeció que yo creo que por simpatía,
claro,
me las pagó. Me dijo, te las voy a comprar.
So this is then Manuel Lepe, when he sees Javier as a child come back to show him his works, it was not one, it was more than one. So that he made on board. And so Manuel Lepe saw these works, and then he smiled and he kind of liked them, and then some kind of backing him up, he offered him money for them. So Manuel Lepe bought the first works that I had ever seen. So,
de ahí fue una amistad que duró por el resto de nuestras vidas.
Then a friendship that lasted all the life.
Y él me apoyó en muchos eventos, me invitaba a participar en diferentes, por ejemplo, se hizo el primer jardín del arte en Vallarta. Él lo hizo y me invitó a mí y a otros pintores.
Then Manuel Lepe started to include Javier in many activities here, and actually in my works, Manuel Lepe took Javier as his protege or something. I just want to, before we keep talking, I want to show you one of those pieces done over the wrapping paper that they used to deliver the merchandise on that grocery. So this is the paper. It was of course not artistic paper or anything. Perdón.
Sí, ya con el tiempo, o sea, quiero decirles que yo nunca fui a su taller como estudiante.
He was never studying directly from Manuel Lepe. He was not his student.
Fue una amistad.
But it was a friendship.
Pero con el tiempo yo fui creciendo y la amistad se hizo más fuerte. Una amistad muy limpia.
A very clean friendship. Sorry, in English. Something that he's not saying, but I want to talk about it is that Javier's family was like a traditional Mexican family that was making pressure on him in order to study law. So, according to his family desires, Javier should be a lawyer. So, and his father, Javier's father, wants him to go to Mexico City because there is no better place where you can have a higher education. So, Javier was sent there to Mexico City to start to study law in one of the biggest universities in Maine. Without his family knowledge, Javier switched the Academy of Law for the Art Academy.
Sí, quiero decirles que en ese tiempo de 1950 a 1964, Puerto Vallarta era una comunidad muy pequeña.
Vallarta in 1950 it was a very small community, 5,000
habitantes.
5,000 inhabitants.
Sí.
It was
Entonces, todas las familias que había aquí se casaban unos con otros.
Everybody was related because they were by marriage, one marriage, that family.
Y mucha gente fueron emparentados unos con otros. La ubicación de Vallarta estaba completamente cerrada. Era una isla, o sea, no había comunicación con el mundo exterior.
There was no communication with the exterior world. It was a very isolated community.
Así que los primeros 100 años de Puerto Vallarta como pueblo se mantuvo hasta 1960 con 5,000 habitantes.
So the first 100 years of existence of Puerto Vallarta was really as a very small community with 5,000, 6,000.
Entonces no había maneras de comunicación con el exterior. La única manera era por barco, o sea, barcos de carga, o brechas.
The only contact with the exterior was by the ocean or with some mules and this kind of things. There was not even roads.
Sí. Y eso influía mucho a que la gente de Vallarta nativa tuviéramos la formación de una cultura basada en la tradición, en la religiosidad, porque era muy religioso, en la tradición oral de los viejos y en el folclore.
So that's why the traditions in Vallarta were really, I don't know, not a huge variety of things. Religion, the nature, but very inside of the heart of everybody.
Recuerdo que mi abuelo me decía algunas veces en la mañana, dice, anoche oí la carreta de la muerte.
His grandpa used to say, last night I heard the death car passing by.
Le digo, ¿por qué, abuelo? Dices que anoche oí rechinar la carreta.
Why, Grandpa? Why do you say that? Because I heard that the wheels, cheering. What is the word?
Dice, vamos a ver ahora quién se murió en Vallarta.
Tomorrow morning we need to see who died last night.
Ese tipo de tradición, de tradición oral de los viejos.
Those kind of traditions, oral traditions that they used to have here.
La historia de piratas, la historia de los conquistadores españoles, de las tradiciones religiosas, creó una atmósfera de cultura que a los que seguimos el arte nos ayudó mucho a crear fantasía.
So it was like a fantastic world that that is right there in the art of Vallarta. Now, I want to tell you something about this issue that he's talking about, the Vallarta style. There is a Vallarta style, you can see it. There were some artists previous to Manuel Lepe, like Ruben Cham, for example, that they share the same innocent perception of the environment. This is what they want to talk. They have no pretensions. They have no intellectual pretensions to express on their art. The things that they show to the world, or the things that they recreate in these paintings, is nothing but the purity of the ambient, the magnificence, the beauty of the landscape, the flowers, the fauna, all these kind of things. That's why when Manuel Lepe comes with this, with his personal expression of art, it's not a coincidence that he shows that also his art has no pretensions. I mean, at least his contents are not trying to tell you anything beyond the joy of being here, and the only thing that they are telling you is the traditions that they have, like the processions, the parades, the people riding donkeys, that's why we say that this art is naive, and it is naive. But then this specific style of art, that is the VallARTa, after Lepe, was followed by Javier from a different perspective, because Javier went to the academy, and then there is some contradiction about being naive and having education, artistic education. There's a frontal, naive is innocence. Naive is no academic preparation. It's just the expression. Javier is still mixing both things, because then you can see some, development in this school that after Javier is followed by La Colorina. So you can see, and by so many other artists. I remember Grimaldo, Javier Martinez, and Javier can tell me about more other artists that follows this VallARTa style of art that is shown here, and that I think it has really, it shows the heart of Puerto Vallarta, this style, and identifies Puerto Vallarta beyond this city. Many people knows about this town through the art that is produced here. Anyway.
Volviendo a Manuel Lepe, viendo su perfil, él era una persona muy alegre.
Coming back to Manuel Lepe, he was a very happy guy.
All the time. Él era una persona que vestía sencillo.
He was always wearing modest clothes.
Usaba una bolsa, un morral.
He used to have a bag here on the side of his.
Nunca lo vi con zapatos, siempre eran guaraches.
He was never wearing shoes. He was always having guaraches. Nothing new here in town. No, look, anybody uses.
Sí, le gustaba mucho la música mexicana.
He loved mariachi. He loved Mexican music.
Sí, y acostumbraba a hacer muchas fiestas también.
And he was a party guy. He used to make many parties too.
Y hacía fiestas donde iba mucha gente local, importante, pintoras, personas famosas de la Ciudad de México, de Guadalajara.
People, he was in the parties that he was organizing. You could see celebrities from Mexico and some other places.
Y le gustaba también mucho a los niños.
He was, of course, liking children.
Invitaba a fiestas a los niños a su casa.
He was always inviting the children also. They could go to his parties.
Y tuvo un intenso trabajo, pintó muchísimo.
And he was a very prolific artist. He was producing a lot of art.
En una ocasión me invitó a su estudio, ahí en su casa por Jacarandas, y me mostró lo que estaba haciendo. Era una fila de cuadros que estaba
he used to see in his former house, the house that is still there. Javier used to see at the same time several pieces of work that he was working on.
Todos al mismo tiempo,
All of them at the same time.
porque tenía muchos pedidos. Estaba con mucho trabajo.
See, because he had a lot of work. Something that helped also a lot to Manuel Lepe, he was lucky, or the timing where he appeared in Vallarta with his work was also, or the time that Vallarta was in the mouth of the world because of the movie and you know, the Night of the Iguana, and everybody wanted to come to Vallarta, and Vallarta was suddenly passing from being a totally unknown place to some place that was, you know, in the media and TV, radio of those times, and people used to come here. And then, in my opinion, this also helped Manuel Lepe. I don't know, I cannot tell you if Manuel Lepe was helping, I mean, making Vallarta known by some people, or maybe Vallarta helped the people to know about Manuel Lepe, you know. And so, in any case, they grow at the same time. When suddenly Vallarta was growing a lot, and then the touristic phenomenon that is still here, it started, and then it was the change forever for this town.
Originalmente, él vivía en la calle Guerrero, con la calle Miramar. Era su casa paterna, y toda su familia, sus hermanos, todos vivían ahí.
When he was a child, his family house was in Miramar y Guerrero.
Y yo vivía a 2 cuadras de ahí.
And he was living 2 blocks away from
Entonces
them.
nos conocimos perfectamente bien. O sea, es que Vallarta pues era un pueblo pequeño. Y el levantamiento como artista de Manuel le ayudó mucho a su esposa. Su esposa
Also was a very good a very good help to Manuel Lepe, his wife, Laura Quiroz, that this is still being amazing, it's very charming.
Sí. Cuando vino la película La Noche de la Iguana, entonces pues Manuel fue invitado por diferentes personas, amigos, a tener exhibiciones en las casas de los artistas que venían.
In the times of the production of the movie, The Night of the Iguana, Manuel Lepe had many chances to share time with the people.
Por ejemplo, John Huston, el director de la película de La Noche de la Iguana, John Huston le compró obra a Manuel y lo relacionó con los artistas que venían.
John Huston bought some artwork by Manuel Lepe, and then also John Huston was the door to Manuel Lepe in order to go to some other people.
Entonces, a partir de la película La Noche de la Iguana, Puerto Vallarta comenzó a explotar demográficamente,
Sí.
porque tenía 5,000 habitantes hasta los 1960. Y de ahí, con la película, vinieron muchísima gente de todo tipo, y comenzó a crecer Vallarta.
Sí.
20,000, 30,000, 40,000.
Sí.
100,000 hasta 300,000 que hay ahora.
Hay que hablar de las exhibiciones. ¿Hablamos de las exhibiciones?
Sí, sí.
Let's talking about the exhibitions that Manuel Lepe had, and then in some others, Javier was also included there. Maybe the oldest exhibition by Lepe was in San Francisco in '65, and then Colorado in '69. Where he was taking it for the same reason. I mean, people were discovering the ARTe VallARTa, were inviting Manuel Lepe to exhibit on those places. Then later in the decade of the 70s was also interesting because Lepe was producing pretty much the most of his work on that decade. And then he had important exhibitions also, probably the most important in LA, in the Museum of Science and Industry, that was shown for a couple of months, and it's supposed there are some documents, I don't know if they are real or not, that says that more than 1 million visitors passed by the exhibition of Manuel Lepe in LA. So these are very important numbers. By the end of the decade, in around 79, there was an important group of artists in Vallarta, headed by Javier. This group was called the Vallarta Group, and they did have a very successful exhibition here in the former Hotel Camino Real. I don't even remember what is the name of this hotel now, but the one that is in the south, in Conchas Chinas. And
Shiva. Now ahora es Shiva.
Shiva, okay. And then, by then, that hotel was a really good promoter, working in the promotion of art in the town. They used to present not just visual arts, but also music, and I don't know, it was an important cultural engine in Puerto Vallarta.
Thursday.
Sorry?
Isn't it the first Thursday?
Oh yeah, they used to have it all the time after, but we are talking about the 70s. Since then, they were pushing or giving a space to the artists and helping creating this platform. So then Javier, with this group, Vallarta Group, goes to Santa Barbara, and they show there an excellent, beautiful exhibition. He can tell us more about it. But then Javier invites Manuel Lepe, and then Manuel Lepe goes with this group to Santa Barbara. And do you want to tell something? ¿Quieres hablar de eso? ¿De la exhibición del 79?
Sí, pero ahorita voy a hacer una pequeña... Cuando el pequeño taller de Manuel, cuando yo fui, que todavía era un niño, que era un pequeño taller por Lázaro Cárdenas, 3 o 4 años después se amplió media cuadra más.
He wants to, this is important, he wants to go back to the small workshop that Manuel Lepe used to have here in Vallarta, and then later on, 3-4 years later, oh no, he got expanded. And then I think he's going to talk about his gallery.
Y hacía exhibiciones continuamente, junto con su esposa Laura Quiroz, y venía muchísima gente.
And then he was doing periodical exhibitions there that used to call huge crowds.
Full people, many people looking the art of Manuel. Y luego Laura y Manuel invitaron artistas importantes de México.
And then Laura and Manuel, oh yeah, this is important. Laura and Manuel started to invite important artists from inside of the country.
Sí, entre ellos José Luis Cuevas.
José Luis Cuevas among them.
Este señor que se murió, ¿cómo se llama? El abstracto. Felgueres, sí.
Manuel Felgueres also very important Mexican master.
Y venía muchísima gente, un éxito. Y en esa ocasión yo ya tendría unos 23 años, y Manuel me invitó a participar con 3 obras en una ocasión ahí.
And then Javier, that was like 22 years old, and he was back from studying in Mexico City, was also invited by Manuel Lepe to be part of that gallery.
Y una de mis obras se vendió, o sea, es la primera vez que yo exhibía.
And then he sold his first work
my
there.
First time, my first show was there. Y pues yo muy contento porque se vendió a un buen precio. En aquella ocasión eran 5,000 pesos, pero era un buen precio.
He was very happy because he sold his first work on 5,000 pesos.
Sí. De ahí Manuel me invitó a una exhibición que él iba a tener en un show de televisión.
Oh yeah, this is important. Then also Manuel Lepe invited him to take part in a TV show that it was it was the most popular national TV program. I remember to watch this program when I was a child. Con Raúl Velasco, ¿te tocó a ti? No.
Siempre es domingo.
Siempre es domingo. Bueno, era lo más popular, corazón. Ya contigo no, pero cuando yo estaba chico, era everybody was